The first time I heard my own voice coming from somewhere that wasn't me, I thought I was losing my mind. It was 2:17 a.m. I was alone in our penthouse, standing barefoot on cold marble, when I heard it, soft, distorted, like it was traveling through water. My voice, "I don't trust him anymore." I froze, because I had said those exact words earlier that night, in private, in the bathroom, with the door locked. And then I heard something worse, a man's voice, calm, familiar, cold. "Keep listening, she's getting closer to the truth." That's when I realized the diamond ring my husband gave me wasn't a gift, it was a wire. My husband, Adrian, is the kind of man people write articles about. Tech billionaire, self-made, always in a black suit, always 10 steps ahead of everyone else. And somehow, he chose me. I met him at a charity gala in Manhattan. I was there as a guest of a friend, wearing a borrowed dress and pretending I belonged. He saw right through me, and he loved it. Within a year, I went from a one-bedroom apartment in Queens to a penthouse overlooking Central Park. Private drivers, designer everything. Vacations that didn't feel real. And Adrian? He was perfect, attentive, protective, obsessed with me in a way that felt intoxicating, not controlling. At least, at first. The ring came 6 months after we got married. 10-carat diamond, custom cut, worth more than my entire childhood home. He slipped it onto my finger and said, "Now I'll always know where you are." I laughed. I thought he meant it romantically. I should have asked what he really meant. It started small. Adrian began finishing my sentences, not in a cute way, in a precise, unsettling way. One night, I told my friend Lily over the phone that I was thinking about visiting my mom. The next morning, Adrian said, "Your mom's neighborhood isn't safe right now. You should wait." I hadn't told him. Then it escalated. I whispered to myself once, literally whispered, "I need space." That night, he booked me a solo spa weekend. He always knew. Always. I tried to brush it off, told myself it was coincidence or that maybe I was more predictable than I thought. But deep down, something felt off. Then came the night I tested it. I locked myself in the bathroom, turned on the shower to mask the sound, and I said quietly, "I think Adrian is hiding something." The next day, he canceled all his meetings and didn't leave my side once. That's when I started watching him. And the more I paid attention, the more cracks I saw. Adrian never left his phone unattended. Ever. He had a private office in the penthouse, soundproof, locked, off limits. And the security system? It wasn't just cameras, it was excessive. Sensors, motion tracking, voice recognition. It felt less like a home and more like a controlled environment. Then one afternoon while he was out, I noticed something strange. The ring. It felt warm. Not from my body heat, from inside. I took it off and held it close to my ear. At first, nothing. Then, a faint static. My heart started pounding. I grabbed a small pin from my jewelry kit and pressed gently against the inner band. There was a tiny seam, almost invisible. And when I pushed harder, it clicked open. Inside, a microchip. And something else, a tiny, blinking red light. I didn't confront him, not yet. Instead, I played along. That night I acted normal, smiled, kissed him, told him I loved him. And then, when he went to bed, I stayed up. I took the ring into the bathroom, turned on the fan, and whispered, "If you're listening, I know." Silence. Then, a voice. Not from the room, from the ring. Good. I dropped it. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely breathe. Because it wasn't Adrian's voice, it was someone else, female, calm, controlled. And she knew I had found it. The next morning, Adrian acted like nothing happened. But his eyes, they were watching me more closely than ever. That's when I realized he wasn't the only one listening. I needed answers. So I did something reckless. I followed him. Adrian left the penthouse around 9 p.m., saying he had a late meeting. I waited 5 minutes, then grabbed my coat and slipped out. His driver took him downtown, to a building I didn't recognize. No signage, no lights except on the top floor. I watched from across the street as Adrian went inside. Then I did the unthinkable. I went in after him. The lobby was empty. No receptionist, no security, just an elevator. I pressed the top floor. My reflection in the mirrored walls looked like someone I didn't recognize. Scared, pale, trapped. When the doors opened, I heard voices. I followed them down a hallway until I reached a glass door. And inside, I saw Adrian, standing next to a woman I had never seen before. Blonde, sharp, powerful. And on the wall behind them, screens, dozens of them, each one showing a different room, different angles, different lives. And then I saw it, one screen, my bathroom, my bedroom, my life. Live. I stumbled back, but the door creaked. They both turned. Adrian's face went white. The woman? She smiled. Well, she said. That was faster than expected. I thought Adrian was the villain. I was wrong. He rushed toward me, grabbing my arm. You weren't supposed to find out like this, he said, his voice low, urgent. Find out what? I snapped. That you've been spying on me? That you bugged my ring? His grip tightened. I was protecting you? From what? That's when the woman stepped forward. From me, she said. I stared at her, confused. She tilted her head, studying me like I was a puzzle. You really don't remember, do you? Remember what? She smiled again, cold. You came to us. My stomach dropped. No, I didn't. Adrian looked at me, something like guilt in his eyes. You did, he said quietly. 6 months before we met. That's not possible. You were scared, he continued. You said someone was watching you, that your life didn't feel real. The woman nodded. You begged us to help you, she said, to monitor everything to keep you safe. My head started spinning. That doesn't make sense, doesn't it? She asked. And then she said the one thing that shattered everything. You're not his wife. Silence. You're his assignment. I laughed. I had to, because it was insane. Stop, I said. Just stop. This isn't funny. Adrian didn't laugh. He looked broken. She's telling the truth, he said. No. You're part of a long-term behavioral study, he continued. Memory reconstruction, identity adaptation. I shook my head, backing away. No, I remember everything, my childhood, my friends. Fabricated, the woman said. Your apartment in Queens? Adrian added softly. We staged it. My chest felt like it was collapsing. Why? I whispered. The woman stepped closer. Because you're the only subject who ever figured it out. My blood ran cold. What? She leaned in, her voice almost a whisper. We've run this experiment 17 times. Each time we build you a perfect life, a perfect husband, a perfect reality. And each time, Adrian swallowed hard. You start to notice? The room spun. No, that's not possible. Every time you discover the truth, the woman said, you beg us to reset you. I felt tears streaming down my face. That's not me, she smiled. It is. Adrian reached for me again. This time can be different, he said. We can stop. But the woman shook her head. She's already too far in. She looked at me. Same as always. And then she asked the question that made my entire body go numb. So tell me, she paused, soft, patient. Do you want us to erase it again? I opened my mouth to say no, to run, to fight. But instead, the words that came out weren't mine. Yes. And just before everything went black, I heard my own voice, from somewhere far away, whispering, "I don't trust him anymore."